You can't control what other people say. You can't control what other people think about you. You can't control what other people believe about you. But you can control whether or not you choose to absorb it and to believe it and to make it true for yourself. Good morning, guys. I'm Melissa and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a beautiful day wherever in the world you're watching from. If you're new to my channel, this is a little positivity zone here on YouTube where I share uplifting and inspiring videos to just encourage you to go out there and cultivate a positive mindset, live your best life, live the happiest life that you can live. And I really love sharing with you guys. So thank you so much for being a part of my channel. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And today we're going to be talking about letting go of the concepts of yourself that are no longer serving you, or maybe concepts that you've had about yourself your whole life that never really did you any positive service. And I'm going to also be talking about the power of our words. This is something that I mention often on my channel. You'll know that I share videos on positive affirmations, using positive what-if statements, and really uplifting yourself with the use of your own words, because words are powerful. They create a mental image. When you say, I'm lazy, stupid, and dumb, and I've always been lazy, stupid, and dumb, or I've always been such a mess, or I've always just, whatever it may be, those really paint a visual picture of yourself in your mind. And the more that you repeat those kinds of statements, the more you're actually solidifying those ideas. And so you could be making all the efforts in the world to go out and, change these aspects of yourself and develop positive habits and become more disciplined. But if you have that core idea repeating over and over again, and you're continuing to use those words and believe those words about yourself, then it's just going to leave you feeling stuck and like you can't really make the positive progress that you want to make. So today is all about really identifying what those negative concepts are that you may have been holding on to, and just allowing yourself to let them go, to release them. And so I want you to ask yourself, think back to childhood. What negative concepts did you hear about yourself? And this could be in the form of, maybe your family said, everyone in our family is like this. Or I feel like our family is all doomed to end up like this. Or bad things just happen. Or, you'll never really amount to anything if you don't do this. Often we hear these messages early on in life, and we don't even realize that we're actually keeping them alive by repeating them and by adding fuel to those fires. So today I really want to encourage you to identify any negative beliefs that you might have about yourself that you're actually keeping alive with your word. And the best way to kind of release that is to make a conscious effort to say, I'm going to stop myself from repeating that because I don't want that to be true for me anymore. So, maybe you're trying to lose weight and you've, heard a message earlier on in your life that, everyone in our family ends up gaining weight in their 40s and they never get rid of it, or they can never seem to shake it. These ideas, if you repeat them, if you believe them, and if you accept them when you hear them spoken to you, they can have a real negative effect on your life and almost be like an anchor that is pulling you down, even though it's going in a different direction of the positive results that you want to achieve in your life. And, maybe you heard messages about relationships that, maybe earlier on you heard that you're selfish. You're a selfish person. You've always been selfish. And you had previous partners that told you you were selfish, and you're keeping that alive. You're keeping that memory of hearing those words about yourself alive, and you're continuing to create that in your present and in your future. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to change the concept of yourself. I actually think this idea is kind of revolutionary when you think of it, because so many of us kind of decide who we are early on in life, and we think like, this is my personality, this is just who I've always been, and this is just how it is and how I am. When really, does that need to be true? Not really, no. We're keeping the things that we believe to be true about ourselves alive with the choice to continue them. Technically, you could wake up tomorrow morning and you could have been a messy person your entire life and decide, I don't want that to be true for myself anymore. And next time I hear someone call me messy, I'm going to mentally say to myself, that is not true for me. And that is something, those words, that sentence can just be such a catalyst for positive change in your life. Not claiming it. You can't control what other people say. You can't control what other people think about you. You can't control what other people believe about you. But you can control whether or not you choose to absorb it and to believe it and to make it true for yourself. So if someone says to you, everyone in our family ends up getting this disease, everyone in our family ends up with money troubles, everyone in our family has bad luck, you can say to yourself, that is not true for me. I do not claim that. And you can actually, I'm all about visualization. There's so much power in visualization. You can actually picture yourself like taking that belief as though it was like a statue or a vase or something and just shattering it. Picture, a vase with the word lazy on it. Now picture yourself picking that up, and in that vase is just all the thoughts that you've ever had about yourself being lazy, all the times someone has called you lazy, all the time you've ever, envisioned yourself with that quality, and just drop it to the ground and watch it shatter. There's something so powerful about actually visualizing yourself detaching from the things that you no longer want to be true about you, from the things that you don't want to bring into your future. You're allowed to let go of it. You can even picture yourself carrying these heavy bags as though you're carrying, 10 bags of groceries. And those heavy bags are all the beliefs that you've had about yourself, about not being good enough, about not knowing what you want to do with your life and being an indecisive person, about being, lazy, about being a slow learner, any kind of negative quality that you no longer want to hold on to as true for you. Picture yourself just dropping those groceries and walking straight, walking straight ahead, lighter, freer, without any of that weighing you down. Because the concept that you have a self-image, you have concepts about yourself that you believe to be true. And many of us are not aware of what that even is. We think like, why am I feeling so stuck? Why am I feeling so frustrated? Why can't I find the right person for me? Why can't I lose this weight? And we don't even realize that we're holding on to it with these beliefs, with these words that we've been claiming as our own. And so I really, really encourage you, so the specific steps that you can take to kind of move past the negative concepts that you've had of yourself up until this point are acknowledge them. Write them down. As much as I think a lot of times people think of personal development as like airy-fairy and just focusing on, the good only and not being aware of anything else. But I actually think there's power in first acknowledging things, like looking at fears square in the face and just looking at what's been holding you back. There's power in that. Like admitting, I've been telling myself that I'm not good enough. I've been telling myself that I'm ugly. I've been telling myself that I don't deserve this great job. I've been telling myself that no one in my family's ever made this much money before, so who am I to go ahead and thrive and enjoy my life and be prosperous? To admit to yourself that I'm the one who's been calling myself those names in my mind and holding on to those qualities that I really want to let go of now. So, try this as a journaling exercise. Write down all the quote unquote aspects of you that you may have held on to in the past, that these qualities that you've thought about yourself that you don't really like and you don't want to possess. Write them all down. Be brutally honest with yourself. It might not be pleasant to admit that, hey, I'm the one who's been calling me fat. I'm the one who's been calling me ugly. I'm the one who's been calling me stupid. Write all these qualities down and then actually do a visualization. Like I said, maybe it is that you drop something with that word on it, like drop a piece of porcelain or whatever it is, drop it. Maybe it is that you picture the sentence written up on a whiteboard and you just wipe it off and now the whiteboard is clean and you've got a clean slate. It could be anything, but I think visualization is really powerful. And now also visualize yourself walking into your future feeling lighter and brighter and happier than ever before, now that you've let go of the burden of those negative qualities and those negative aspects about yourself that you don't want to be true anymore. And just picture how good that feels. Next, I want you to really be aware when you hear, and this is honestly the hardest part, because this is where it actually is, you have to practice something in action. It's kind of easy to do personal development practices when you're by yourself, when you're focused on it, when you're journaling, you've got your candle lit, you're in the zone of just positivity. But when you're out there in the quote unquote real world dealing with other people, that's when it gets real. That's when you really need that discipline, and you really need to be accountable for your own thoughts and your words. So next time that you're in a conversation and you hear someone say something like, "Oh, I know you, you've always been lazy. You've always been a little bit lazy, haven't you? Ha ha ha," like kind of, calling you something that you don't want to claim as your own. You can say it out loud, or you can mentally say to yourself, "That is no longer true for me. That is a false idea about me that I let go of. I release that word, and that word does not describe me." And another thing that I would do is I would find the opposite of that word and say, and this is an affirmation. So say it is laziness. Say people your whole life have been saying that you're lazy, and you've called yourself lazy, and you're just done with that. The opposite of laziness is maybe being a productive individual. I want you to turn that into a positive affirmation that you can say, that you can kind of have that as your power statement whenever you're feeling that negative thing being true about yourself, or you hear someone call you that, or you start to call yourself that. I want you to say, "I move forward today in a productive way. The new me is a productive individual who gets things done." Turn it into a positive statement. And so whenever you feel that negativity, that thing about yourself that you're feeling like, "Oh, I guess I am just this way. I have always been this way," turn it into a positive. I say this often, that your mind can only focus on one thought at a time. And so often we want to kind of focus on getting rid of the negativity, getting rid of the bad thoughts, getting rid of. But that's kind of almost just paying more attention to it and giving it more, fuel to the fire. And just, so the thing to do is actually focus on what you want to be, what you want to create, and visualize yourself moving forward in life, possessing all of those beautiful, powerful qualities. Because, and don't beat yourself up. I think a lot of times what happens, and I've experienced this as well, when you kind of wake up to what you've been calling yourself, what you've been saying to be true about yourself, and what you've been claiming for yourself, you can kind of, it can be upsetting. You can think, I've lived all these years, like, what would my life have been like if, 5-10 years ago I had realized this and I had dropped these negative beliefs about myself? But you can't go back in the past, and there's no point in dwelling on something that you can't change. It's only going to make you feel bad. So kind of just make peace and say, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and I, appreciate the journey that I've been on, and I'm going to learn something from all of the negative experiences I've had, and I'm going to move forward from here on out. Because right now is what you have control over. Right now, today, right when you're watching this video, this second, I want you to decide something that you want to be true for you, something that you've always wanted to be true for you, a quality that you've wanted to possess. And I want you to go out there and live your day as though that is true for you. I want you to picture what the rest of your life will be like from here on out with that positive quality. Maybe it's that you're going to be an organized person, and you claim yourself as being an organized person. Maybe it's that you're an optimist. Maybe you've spent the past 10 years just being negative, calling yourself names, looking for the worst in other people, and you just think, that's a quality that I'm just ready to break. I'm just ready to break free from it, to drop it, to let it go, and clean my hands of that kind of a negative vibe. And from here on out, I decide that I'm an optimist. Because you get to decide who you want to be. Things are not set in stone. You could have been a certain way for your whole life up until now, and you're allowed to change. You're allowed to say, you know what, I dropped that belief. This is how I want to live my life from now on, and this is what I'm going to do. All right, guys, I thank you so much for watching this video, for being here with me. I hope this video and this message resonated with you. I love you so, so much. Thank you again just for being a part of this channel. It really means the world to me. And I will see you next time. Bye.